Hello, folks. I am Andrew Carter with the News and Observer, along with my colleague, News and Observer columnist Luke DeCock. And Luke, we watched a pretty good ball game here today, 75-71 a UNC victory against Pitt. What do you think has been the big factor for UNC's defensive resurgence? They held Lamar Patterson to a rough game today, 16 points, 5 of 15 shooting. I thought that was a really key factor for UNC today, which survived the late scare.
It helped that Patterson was in foul trouble in the first half. I mean, there's no question picking up 2 early fouls makes a big difference. But I thought J.P. Tokido did a nice job on him. Isaiah Hicks a little bit in the first half. Haven't seen a ton of him this year. Ended up with a big dunk off a turnover. And Leslie McDonald in the second half. All of that, really nice work on Patterson. I think if you look at this winning streak, as Marcus Page said after the game, they figured out they weren't the most talented offensive team. So what they've done is they've recommitted on the defensive end. I think they're starting to see results. Maybe the last 5 games were games you expected them to win, but this one against Pitt, a very good defensive team, and I think the Tar Heels almost beat them at their own game, really out-defending, battled them to a draw on the boards. A lot of good things for North Carolina as it's a team that's learning how it has to play to win. It took a while for it to happen consistently, but it's happening now.
6 games in a row, like you mentioned, Luke. They had some five games there that were a little bit easier maybe than this one. Certainly, though, we're about to find out more about this UNC team. When you look ahead, Florida State on Monday night, and then against Duke, what do you think we're going to learn about these guys going forward?
Well, it's going to test them in a lot of ways. Florida State, another big team like Pittsburgh, so that's going to test the interior defense. You look at tonight, Bryce Johnson, 5 blocks, but missed some important defensive plays, particularly late. And my question for you, Andrew, would be if you look at the late game, North Carolina with chances to put the game away didn't do it. What has to change there?
Well, for one thing, free throws kind of hurt these guys a little bit today. I'm holding the stat sheet. 15 for 25. They missed 10 free throws. That's been an issue for these guys all year. They have some second half lows there. And then offensively, they just weren't very sharp, I thought, down the stretch. I mean, they had some possessions there that were wastes. They had some turnovers. They allowed Pitt maybe some open looks on the inside a bit. But Pitt's a good team, too, and that's going to happen.
Yeah, Pitt desperately needed this game for its NCAA tournament hopes. I don't think there's any doubt about that. This is a big loss of missed opportunities all over the place for them. So we'll see how that comes back to haunt them. Even they could be 25-6 going into Greensboro and be in a lot of trouble.
Indeed. They're playing country music here in the Smith Center. I think that's our cue to get on out of here. For Luke DeCock, I'm Andrew Carter with the News and Observer.